Well, we talked about it in the last episode where we reviewed some websites. It might not be for everyone, this assumption, but if I land on a website where it's not modernized, like instantly, I'm not doing anything with it because either I think it's like kind of fishy, like I don't want to submit my information on like an older, HTML website that's like framed in to like 500 pixels wide. Like I don't trust it. Um, or like one that's like too salesy. Like you always get like the white background. There's barely any design. I mean, it might look nice, but it's like at every turn, it's trying to push you down. Like you feel like you're being sold, you know? Um, the ones that I think are legit, like you get something out of it, but there's still a scam, like where I have to say, I've fallen prey to like supplement scams or like fitness scams or whatever. Like I've wanted to try stuff. Like I'm just like, I just want to try this and see like what happens. And one of them was like supplements, like where I got like halfway through it and I'm like, I think it's adding, doesn't tell you it's adding anything to the cart, but it'll be like 13 seconds left until you have this deal or whatever, and it's only like $10, but it charges you 100 because it's $10 a month for X amount of months, which I guess would be 10 months because sometimes it's 100. But you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that is very scammy.
I feel like if you get a notice of something to pay, whether it's through email or physical mail, right? And you think it's legit, so you go to whatever the web address is to pay your thing, and then they ask you for the amount that you're supposed to pay instead of like having an account that pulls up your balance, right? That to me is a very scammy behavior, and I always instantly red flag that, like, I'm gonna back up and double check some things.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think even then, I don't know that anything that's asking you to pay for something isn't going to tell you to go somewhere and put in your information at all. They're just going to say like go to your account. Like they won't even link it. Like I feel like if I got one from my bank, they're not telling me to do anything. They're just saying, "Hey, like a generic like, oh, you owe a bill, sign into your account
And
by
there it is, right?
date and then blah blah blah." Like, but it's like if you're getting something that's like, oh, like here's the link to your bank account. Why don't you go here and put in your name and your social? Like it's
You owe us for website hosting. Go to this
yeah.
website. And then like they've put an account number and everything on the paper or the email, but then you get there and they're like, enter your name and tell us how much you're paying us. Like, what? No, that's not
Yeah.
right. You should know what I owe you if I owe you anything.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're the federal government and you have to do your own taxes, in which case they have no idea how much I owe them until they do know how much I owe them. And then they're like, that was wrong. You owe us more now.
But also, they're never going to text you about it.
That's true.
Yeah.
And the DMV is never going to text you.
Yeah.
About a toll or an unpaid ticket.
Yeah.
That's just not going to happen in the real
Same with I don't know about now, but I remember there being things like where like the FBI will never call you and ask you for your information. I just imagine like the one day if like answering the phone and having someone actually legitimately try to convince me that they were from the FBI and that they needed to know my social security number or something like that. Like, why hasn't this happened to me? Like I want it to happen so that I can I'm inviting all the scammers that pretend that they're FBI contact right now. No more Robo will stop it. That's fine. I almost changed my phone number. It's not even like the scams that I was getting weren't even like real people. It was like, a recorded message and then, oh, like press 1 to get in touch or stay on hold or whatever. And it's like another recorded message. I'm like, what? How do you even scam someone with recorded messages? I don't know. But maybe it's the fact that you've like pressed a button and you've made an agreement somehow. And so now they're like, they can charge you for something. I'm not sure. I don't know. Like your phone bill. I've heard of that before. Add something to your phone bill. I don't know how. Scams. Okay, we had one other one. One that I was having trouble articulating, but beg bounties. We had a client ask us about an email they had received where the person will outline ways that someone could be scamming your website or creating a vulnerability for you. Yes. So, or like in an email, like, oh, you don't have these certain protections set up for your email. So that means someone can spoof it. And here's how. And they'll like put this really detailed outline together with like screenshots, and they'll use your company name and your website name. And then they end it with like, sincerely Bob Smith. I mean, that's probably a giveaway for me because, okay, sure. No, I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there named Bob Smith, but it's like, anyways, in general, I feel like if you're getting anything like that, there's not going to be this really long email from someone you've never heard of before who's trying to prove to you that if you don't change these certain things, then you're going to have consequences down the line from someone, taking your information somehow from your website or spoofing your email or whatever. Like, you don't need to be convinced by someone you don't know sending you an email. And then ends the email also with, I think I deserve money for this, and I would like to tell you more about this later. Like,
that's how I end all my emails.
in fact, we should end all of our emails just like that. I think I actually deserve money to be doing
money
this.
For bringing this to your attention.
Yeah, but I guess from what I've seen, depending on how the emails are written or how they propose these ideas, they're not necessarily illegal scams. So people will end up paying a lot of money and they don't actually do anything. Because guess what? The things they complained about were already taken care of. Like, you didn't have to add those new records on your email. They were already done. But, they're using public information that any one of us could go on, a website like MX Toolbox. Like, we could check out all the email records and grab whatever information we wanted to try to manipulate it and convince someone who has no idea what they're looking at that they need to do this or they're going to be in trouble down the line. But like, we've had just the one client say something, but I've read like Googling it and kind of just looking it up. I guess that's the thing where people really do pay for these things because they believe most of these people are ethical hackers who are trying to help people out. And I think the majority of them are not. They're just trying to get some more money. So yeah, that's another one. So maybe to sum it up, if it feels like a scam, it probably is. But you should always ask someone, whether it's somebody that might have a little bit more tech experience, whether it's just a friend, you're like, questioning this. I don't know if this is a scam. What do you think? Or, if you're a business owner and you have a web developer or a designer, somebody who's familiar with your website, ask them, because you could actually be getting legitimate emails and thinking, is there a scam? Because we get so many. So I can see how it'd be easy to believe. I guess in terms of like general tips, in addition to that, would be if someone's trying to convince you to pay them, it's probably a scam. Whether that's in a snail mail letter, probably not gonna outline that you owe them for something that's completely online through a snail mail letter. Probably just email you, because that's how domain registrars work. It's all digital. What other things to summarize what stuff to look out for?
I think that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay vigilant.
Yeah. Be skeptical. Just always be skeptical.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Just question everything.
Mm-hmm. Especially these days.
Yep. And I know I complain all the time about passwords and how it takes 20 minutes to log into anything anymore because of how, there's a 2FA and then there's a secondary, notification. And then you have the authenticator apps. And then, you have the long passwords and the combinations and like it can't include this and it should include that. And it's like, where do you store them? You have to store them in a place that also requires another layer of authentication from your end. Like you have to access 3 passwords to get to the password that you saved. And then when you sign into that, it's like this long drawn out thing. But I think this is probably why. Like, I can't imagine that. At this point, a lot of people's data is public or it's been leaked at some point. But of course, you don't want to willingly continue to give away some things. Like you don't want to compromise important account information so people aren't stealing the money that you've worked so hard to save. People aren't impersonating you, getting services and whatever. It's very violating. So I guess I get the whole idea of keeping everything, like passwords, under several layers of security.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck scammers.
Yeah, just in general. Also gonna start a side hustle as a scammer, so
Yeah, if we can't continue to make it as creatives and marketers, maybe we'll just be like people scams.
we've seen it all and we can do it better.
Maybe I can create a website where people think it's AI and it's just me.
It's like a scamception inside a scam.
Like I answer so I feel like I annoy people so much with how quick I can type with chat, and like I feel like I'm getting a little old. Like I don't summarize or just say as least as I possibly can. Like every thought will just come out in like 16 messages. Like they could have been 1 and it could have been 2 sentences, but I feel like that would be a way to respond if I was an AI bot. They would want interaction, right? Quick thoughts. I think somebody has done that though, like as a joke. Did you ever see that? Where it was supposed to be like an image generation thing, and they were like, "Hey, make me an image of."
Oh yeah, with quick little drawings.
And it was like 17 minutes later, and they're like, why haven't I got my image yet? And it'll respond like, well, it takes time to make an image. Like just stuff like that. It was really funny. I thought that was a good joke.
Until next time.
Yeah. Do. End recording.